Y'all want to know some shit I've done to men that I will never, ever regret?
Oh, yes. Do tell us.
Years ago, I was dating a guy for like 6 to 8 months, right? During those 6 to 8 months, he called me to tell me that he lost his job. I was like, okay. I waited 2 hours. I said, hey, let's meet up for a drink or something to eat or something like that. And he was like, okay, yeah, sure. As soon as we get to the spot, I look him dead in the face and I said, hey, it's not going to work out between us. And he was like, what? Are you being serious? And I was like, yes, I am. He was like, why are you breaking up with me? Is it because I don't have a job? And I was like, funny you said that. That's exactly why I'm breaking up with you. And then he goes, wow, you are a gold digger. And I was like, yeah, and you really are a broke ass nigga. So look at us.
Oh, the legendary 304 caste system, forged by our forefathers, designed to keep certain women in the shadowy realm of society's purgatory. Now, before you recoil, let's admit it, the 304s, whether we like it or not, are an essential gear in the grand clock of civilization. Society's pressures pile up, relationships drain us, and behold, the 304 is ready to be our diversion, our warm, wet, moist, wayward harbor from life's daily storms. Just like the PS5 that sits atop your TV stand, they are a toy to be played with in our pastime, a fleeting indulgence, a place to exercise all of our sordid fantasies, and then leave under the cover of nightfall, maybe a quick pit stop for an Egg McMuffin to replenish our depleted sperm count.
And he was like, wow, you really gonna leave me over me not having a job, like I'm not gonna go get one? And I was like, no. And he tried to make me feel bad that I was breaking up with him because he no longer had a job. And I was like, I do not care. The fact that you even thought that I was going to be your fixer is crazy to me, is wild to me. The fact that you even wanted to tell me that information without just going out there and getting a job and being like, hey, by the way, I got a new job instead of, hey, I lost my job, is crazy to me. So therefore, I want no part in it. I don't want to know your sad story. I don't want to be Captain Save No, none of that. None of that. That's something you call and tell your parents. You tell your homeboy. You tell your friend. You don't tell me. I don't care. That's not my problem. All I hear is, hey, I'm going to start being cheap and mean to you. That's what I hear when you say, I ain't got a job. And guess what? I run on the first red flag, baby.
But beware, taming this wild 304, that is a blunder most grave. Deep down, she knows her purpose, and the man who dares offer her commitment she doesn't feel worthy of, well, she's likely to view him as a soul misled, undeserving of her respect.
So I was dating a guy for like, 10 months, okay? 10 months. Things were not working out between us. He was living with me. So you know how that goes. So I broke up with him and I was like, you need to leave. And he was like, wow, after everything we built. And I was like, what did we build? What did we build? We didn't build anything. I don't want to renew my lease. Please get the fuck out of my house. So he schedules a day to come get the rest of his shit. On the day he comes to pick up his shit from my house, he starts moping around. He starts being petty, trying to keep the supreme karaoke machine and keep all type of shit. I'm like, take it. I don't give a fuck. I'm not here to fight with you. I just want you to get the fuck out of my house. And the whole time he moving, looking at me all puppy-eyed, all sad. I'm like, sir, I don't care. Like, I want you to get the fuck out of my space. Like, the fuck's wrong with you? Like, goodbye. So while he was on his last few boxes, I said, I love a petty moment. You want to be petty and take the karaoke machine? I'm going to send your ass out on a soundtrack. So I put on Call Tyrone. My neighbors heard every last word of that song. Then I started playing Man Enough for Me. He wasn't man enough for me. Tony Braxton. Yes. I put TLC No Scrubs on. I went in on the playlist and sent his ass on his way. And when he got to the last box, he was standing outside my door looking all sad. I slammed the door in his face and I locked it where you could hear the lock. And I started laughing to myself like, yeah, you're going to associate those songs with me forever. forever.
To all you pillow biters. Forgive me. I meant pillow talkers.
Pause. That's crazy.
Yeah, that is crazy, but I'll let you go. Pause.
You might want to pay attention. The next time you're tempted to quote-unquote open up to your woman, know this. You're treading dangerous ground. Your lady is not your therapist. If you've got something heavy to share, call a friend. Vent it to your mom. Confide it in your dad. Just don't lay it all at her feet. And whatever you do, don't shed a tear in front of her unless there's a dead body or a funeral involved. It's not really her fault, you see. Most modern women aren't exactly wired for empathy in these situations. It's just the way they are built. No use railing against the mechanics of it. So if you must bare your soul, choose your audience wisely, my friend, lest you end up with more regret than comfort.
I was dating this guy about a year ago for almost a year. We left our yoga class and decided that we were going to have blue ribbon sushi. So we sit up at the bar, we order a couple of appetizers, and we have 2 cocktails each. While we're sitting there minding our business, talking, a black guy and I think a white guy decides that they want to speak to me and say some outlandish shit to me.
So we're supposed to believe that 2 men, entirely unprovoked, just happened to randomly assault this woman. Right. I mean, this is the same woman who practically holds a degree in the fine art of emasculating men. But let's not overlook the real magic here. The astonishing speed at which our quote-unquote strong independent woman can morph into a delicate, helpless damsel when the moment calls for it. It's truly a marvel of modern versatility, switching personas as effortlessly as switching a light switch, adapting to each scene with masterful precision. Glorious indeed.
And the black guy was going hard in the paint, like trying to get me to come out, like trying to get me to just black girl out on his ass, right? And while this is happening, my boyfriend is sitting there looking stupid, allowing it to happen. And then when I look at him like, hello, protect me, he then chimes in with the mother. Now it's 3 against 1 because I wanted to protect myself. I'm sitting there with my boyfriend minding my business, and some guy decides that he wants to speak to me, and I say no. And I got 3 men coming at me sideways. So I pick up my bag and I storm the fuck out. And while I'm walking home, I'm thinking to myself, how could this mother sit up here, tell me he loved me, and let some random man that he don't know disrespect me, and then he chime in like a little punk ass and allow it to happen. So when women sit up here and say like, oh, not all men are bad, not all men are like that, shut the fuck. Because a man will sit up here and watch another man abuse you and not do 2 things about it. Okay? So I don't give 2 about a man. I don't give a about your childhood trauma. I don't care what happened to you as a little boy. I do not give a. It's up for you. It's up. Straight up. I have no sympathy for men. I have no compassion for men at this point. Like, no. The men, I've been done worse. But that's just the tip of the iceberg. Like, that's what finally just made me be like, yeah, I'm over it.
This gentleman clearly got the memo. He understands that this particular woman is his personal concubine, a companion of leisure, not a bearer of his protection. That is a privilege reserved for the virtuous, for those who hold the revered title of PW or potential wife, or even wife herself. In this world, one must draw clear lines with the women in one's life and adhere to Cobra's sacred code of conduct when bearing the sterling insignia of the army of Destro. Never put your life or health on the line for a concubine. She is, after all, for recreational usage only, a fleeting indulgence to be released when the risks outweigh the rewards. And thus it is written in the gospel of Lord Destro.
He ain't lying.
But wait a minute. You didn't smash the bell and press the like button. Blasphemy. And although you will never be worthy of a monarch such as myself, the Lord Destro would suggest that you poor fools at least give oligarchy a try. So here,